Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. To my supervisor, Prof. Madia Dr. Muhammad Hariri bin Bakri, and my panel, Dr. Siti Nurbaya binti Yahya. My name is Nidnur Atika binti Nusin. My metric number is B0619101116. I would like to present my final year project 2. The research title is The Use of Digital Payment Service During the Pandemic Era. Background of study. The emergence of social distancing and stay-at-home regulation during the COVID-19 pandemic directly affect the lifestyle of individuals, including the beginning of the use of digital payment transaction to minimize contact with other people. The term of digital payment refers to any mode of payment that is processed digitally. For example, it can be made via mobile phone or online banking transfer, mobile wallet payment, QR code payment, and any other electronic payment, so that it makes life more easier. Next, problem statement. First, consumer experience digital techno stress. In this digital revolution period, consumers are under pressure to swiftly adjust to new digital technology after adapting to the previous one. Furthermore, as the fintech business develops, the probability of personal privacy infringement, financial mishap, and fraud rise, increasing consumer techno stress. Second, security concern. Although stringent measures such as symmetric encryption are in place to make e-payment safe and secure, it is still vulnerable to hacking. Research question and research objective. For the research question, there are three. First, what are the benefits that encourage consumers to use digital payment service during the pandemic era of COVID-19? Second, do these identified benefits have a positive influence on digital payment during the pandemic era? Third, to what extent do the identified benefits impact digital payment service? While for the research objective also have three. First, to determine the benefit that influence consumer behavior intention to use digital payment. Second, to analyze the relationship between the identified benefit and the use of digital payment during the pandemic era of COVID-19. Third, to examine the extent of the impact of the identified benefit toward the use of digital payment. Next, research framework. By using a research framework, the researcher can understand the relationship between the variable of the theory and predict the type of relationship that exists between them. So, as you can see here, this is purpose theoretical development of the without-dependent variable, which is consumers' behavioral intention to use digital payment, and for the independent variable, performance expectancy, effort expectancy, social influence, and facilitating conditions. Next, research methodology. For research design, researchers use descriptive research, while for methodology choice, researchers use the quantitative method. And for the data analysis method, researchers use reliability and validity analysis, factor analysis, correlation analysis, and multiple regression analysis. Next, population and sampling. Target population for this research is aged between 18 to 50 years old. This study applied a convenient sampling technique, which is a form of non-random or non-probability sampling. Besides, the needed level of analysis for this research was the Malacca public. According to the table of Critchy and Morgan 1970, the required sample size for a population of 579,000 is 384 of respondents. Next, I will continue to the next part, which is frequency analysis. In this part, discuss about the result and data that has developed by this study and the analyzing method. SPSS version 27 was chosen by the researchers to the purpose to analyze the data that developed from 384 respondents. As you can see in the slide, there has figures about result of demographic analysis, which is gender, age, status, level of education, experience in digital payment, and the lastly is how often they use digital payment service during the pandemic era. Descriptive analysis. In this part, researchers discuss the descriptive statistics on each variable, including the independent and dependent variable. As you can see in the table, the range mean for the independent variable for performance expectancy is 4.3047 to 4.4635. For effort expectancy is 4.3281 to 4.3932. For social influence is 4.2525 to 4.3229, and for the facilitating condition is 4.2844 to 4.507x. While the range mean for the dependent variable, which is behavior intention to use digital payment, is 4.3047 to 4.4974. Correlation analysis. From the result, the correlation between all independent variable and the dependent variable were positive. The strength of the relationship between the variable also show a high correlation where R values range from 0.834 to 1.00. Performance expectancy had the highest positive correlation with intention at 1.00, while the lowest went to behavior intention at 0.834. Next, multiple linear regression analysis. As you can see, the table in the slide show R square of 0.840 indicate that 84.0% of the variance in the performance can be explained by the 4 independent variables tested in this study. The result of ANOVA, there is sufficient proof concluded to confirm that at least one of the independent variables could predict the dependent variable. This shows that there is a model fit when the p-value is equal to 0.000. Now, I will explain the summary of finding. Research objective 1. To determine the benefit that influence consumer behavior intention to use digital payment. As a result, behavior intention to use digital payment service is significantly positively impacted by performance expectancy, effort expectancy, social influence, and facilitating conditions. Research objective 2. To analyze the relationship between the identified benefit and the use of digital payment during the pandemic era of COVID-19. The degree of correlation between the variables also demonstrates a high strength. So when performance expectancy, effort expectancy, social influence, and facilitating conditions are increased, the consumer behavioral intention to use digital payment service also increase. Research objective 3. To examine the extent of the impact of the identified benefit toward the use of digital payment. According to the finding of the survey questionnaire, the majority of consumers prefer digital payments as a payment option due to their speed and accuracy. Next, recommendation for future research. First, the future research can employ using longitudinal study to evaluate the consumer behavior intention to use digital payment service. Second, the future research can study at other determinants that influence consumer behavior intention to use digital payment service. For the conclusion, according to the result to the descriptive statistical analysis method, respondents agreed that 4 of the independent variables, which are performance expectancy, effort expectancy, social influence, and facilitating condition, are important to determinant that can impact the dependent variable, which is consumer behavior intention to use digital payment service. So, that's all from me, and thank you for watching my video.